Hello, everybody. This is Francesco Verso from Italy. I'm a science fiction writer and editor of future fiction. I've been asked to talk about Chinese science fiction because over the last 5 years, I've published a lot of Chinese science fiction stories in Italian language and also some of them in Chinese. So many stories that the future fiction catalog is the largest in the world for Chinese science fiction, except the English language. So this is really a big accomplishment, and I would like to start with a general consideration before telling you how I managed to do this. So let me say that real inclusivity requires translation. And that means, in literary terms, that you need to translate their works into your own language. That applies to any market and to any culture. So let me start to tell you how I managed to translate and publish so many stories. I will divide this path into 5 steps, okay? The first step was scouting and mapping. So it's about finding the people and selecting the stories. And I was very, very lucky because I came across the works of Ken Liu, his translations made on Clarke's World of Chinese science fiction stories. And I contacted Ken Liu and I asked him, how can I, translate these stories? And that's where it started, through his own translations from Chinese into English and then from English into Italian. But then Ken introduced me to Chiara Cigarini, that was at the time living living and studying in Beijing with Professor Wu Yan at the Normal University of Beijing. And that's where I could get a foot in China. So the second step was about finding the support. Finding the support means to be able to translate these stories directly from Chinese into Italian. And this was probably the most difficult and complicated part of this process. So, of course, you need to consider the cost of the translation, which is something that all the markets, many markets, do have to consider when they translate foreign science fiction into their local market. So it was difficult because I went knocking at the doors of many Confucius Institute, I went knocking at the doors of many universities to find their support. And likely enough, I had big success because many teachers, many professors that didn't know at the time about Chinese science fiction were interested in this new emerging genre. So I really have to thank a lot of people that propose stories to me, like Lisa Ding at Bofang, which is actually also my publisher. So I managed to publish 2 of my novels in Chinese language. And then I have to thank, of course, other very important editors like Sam Feng at Science Fiction Growth Foundation in Shenzhen, like Fan Yilun at 8 Light Minutes, like Sarah Chen at Science Fiction World, like Jian Fan at the Chongqing Fishing Fortress. So this was really the hardest part, to find a team. And of course, then I had to find the people, the translators. The third part is continuity. So I had to show Italian readers a new world, which is contemporary China or future China, let's say. So through the books, I had to introduce readers to the works of many authors. So we started with dual language Chinese science fiction stories. So you can see this is Nebula with the original Chinese text and then the Italian translation. This was really a big success. We still sell copies of these after 5 years. It's really, really incredible. But then we went on to publish other books, like this is Sinosfera, and then we published Artificina, with stories with the new generation, the Ban Lin Ho and Lin Ho, the authors that are born in the 90s and the, let's say, millennials. And then we went on to publish Fotogrammi. And then we had also single authored collection of short stories. This is Regina Kani Wang. And then we have Muming, Color the World. This is just the collection of dual language stories, but we have also single author stories in Italian, Xia Jia, Festa di Primavera, and then we have Chen Chu Fan, L'Eterno Addio, and then we have the collection of Han Song, a really important book. So continuity meant also to be able to invite these authors. So thanks to the collaboration with these institutions, I invited Chen Chufan, Xia Jia, Professor Wu Yan, Zhang Ran, and Muming to many conventions and book fairs in Italy. So the fourth step is, of course, communicating quality. That's also very important, because you just don't throw the books out. You need to be able to communicate the quality and the uniqueness of this product. So I was able to build like meetings online, conventions, invitations at many book fairs in Italy and in Europe. And then I went to many science fiction conventions, Chengdu 2017, Chengdu 2019, Beijing Science Fiction Conventions. So it's like a whole ecosystem of Chinese science fiction. The last step is going cross-media. So that means that I had to develop also new ways to engage readers, expand in new users, and that's how we developed audiobooks. So thanks to a collaboration with Audible Italy, now many science fiction stories from China are being adapted into audiobooks. And the last product is really a wonderful thing that I really would like to share with you is comics. We are starting to produce on this new label called the Futuresque adaptation of Chinese science fiction stories into visuals, into comic. So this is how I could do this big thing, so many publications with almost zero budget. And imagine what other small presses could do if they really want to invest in real inclusivity in science fiction. Just consider that science fiction today is a global phenomenon, and as such, it is happening everywhere. Even if we are not sometimes aware of it, but it is happening in China, in India, in Latin America, in Africa, and in Europe. To discover these whole new worlds of science fiction, we need to translate them. And then we'll access other dimensions and ultimately other futures. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye. Take care. Have fun. Enjoy the Worldcon and see you next year. Bye.